live here. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode here. I am delving into more Am I the Asshole and Newsweek. And Newsweek here I'm going to give two articles here. It's a twofer. So I'm going to get started here. And Newsweek says, bride to be applauded for why she called off wedding. Expensive mistake. A bride-to-be has called off her upcoming wedding and is asking her fiancé to reevaluate whether he wants to get married. In a post shared to Reddit under the handle Necessary Guard 3008, she explained that she took the decision after he made a joke in front of her about being trapped in the marriage. Matters came to a head with according to the post, she had been really excited about planning the wedding as she works in events and it is her passion. Her fiancé, however, was less enthused and found the idea of planning his big day boring. Matters came to a head during a discussion with friends about planning their big day. I was telling them that some of my plans to cut costs, and my friends made a joke that it was a good thing my fiancé locked me down because I'm a professional, the bride-to-be wrote. My fiancé joked that he didn't lock me down, I locked him up. He said he was trying to enjoy his last days of freedom before I trapped him in the marriage. The comments left her upset as it seemed he not only didn't appreciate her efforts, but also seemed to be suggesting that she was pushing him to get married. So she decided to call the whole thing off. I don't want to marry someone that doesn't enthusiastically want to get married, she wrote. The bride-to-be is now calling on her fiancé to reevaluate if he really wants to get married or even stay in this relationship. The bride-to-be took the decision now before spending more money on vendors as she didn't want to end up making an expensive mistake. Though her fiancé has been left upset and insists he was just joking, many felt that she was within her rights to call things off. Canceling the wedding over one insensitive joke is extreme, she said. Although, if there is a series of red flags, it makes more sense. In any case, Gottsman, a therapist, agreed that the joke was disrespectful and definitely not recommended for anyone wanting to marry. Mostly Reddit agreed. One user wrote, "You're smarter than me. My ex made this joke and I laughed it off. I definitely was the one who got trapped. Run." Another comment said, "Getting married to my wife was the most exciting day of my life. I still look back on the day to get me through the bad days of work and stress. Jokes like that make my skin crawl." And a third added, "Why do people still think it's funny to joke about hating your spouse, being trapped, the old ball and chain, and so forth? You made the right call." So this also ties into something where a trope that I really dislike, where it seems like the couple hates each other. Think Norm and Vera from Cheers, but then again, maybe some of my people watching might not get it. Or Everybody Loves Raymond, in fact. That might be a little, newer reference. But it always seems like Ray and Deborah don't really like each other, and I hate that because it's just a horrible trope. So the internet largely backed this woman, and I definitely do too. Moving on to our next Newsweek article about a wedding, and I don't get, weddings seem to be the time when a lot of crazy comes out. So, this article is, Woman Hosting and Funding Brother's Wedding Cancels. Internet applauds why. A woman who graciously asked to host and partially fund her brother's wedding rescinded her offer, as she told Newsweek about the family drama which went viral online. The 31-year-old, who goes by Terrific Terror on Reddit, took to social media platform for advice, posting that she was considering canceling the ceremony between her 28-year-old brother and his 25-year-old girlfriend. After heated messages, the final straw was a fallout between the woman and her would-be sister-in-law, which saw the wedding plans go up in flames. I told her she had all of 3 seconds to get out of my line of sight before I would be bringing hellfire down on her, while instructing my children to leave the room, she told Newsweek. The Reddit post detailing the initial drama, which they link, explained the European woman owned a home in Colorado in the middle of the mountains, surrounded by forest, It is truly stunning and a dream come true. The house is so enticing, it seems her brother's fiancée was eyeing it up as the venue for her destination wedding. While I was hesitant to host a wedding in the house of my dreams, I can absolutely understand how my dream home is their dream venue. I told him they absolutely could, but I had some rules, the woman wrote, explaining that her brother approached her about hosting. While agreeing, she stipulated 4 rules. No more than 25 guests, no smoking, damage or any decorative choices that could permanently damage the property. I offered to decorate and find a caterer that'd be my gift to them. I am currently almost $10,000 into my gift because it's my brother's wedding and it's what I wanted to do, the Redditor continued. But despite her best efforts, the family's plan for a fairy tale wedding soon fell apart. Now his fiancée has decided that she needs at least 45 guests. I was willing to be flexible with 1 or 2 more, but 20? No. On top of that, she wants to pay to fly her family to Colorado because I fronted the money to my other brother, who's actually paying me back when he can afford a ticket, the woman explained. I told her no, and I got sassed. She also wants to build a pergola, paint my living room, and pay for the drinks. I said no. I've done enough. She has now taken it upon herself to tell people I'm coming back on my promises, that I left her hanging, and that she can't afford the super expensive wedding I made her plan. She even went as far as to uninvite my grandparents just to spite me. I'm getting at least 2 messages a day asking why I'm ruining her day or if I'm jealous, she added. I'm considering canceling the whole thing, she said in the post, while voicing concerns about putting her brother in a difficult position. But things later came to a head during a family gathering as the 2 women confronted each other. The woman, who chose to remain anonymous, told Newsweek, I told my brother that since my home did not suit her needs and it was stressing her out to the point that she was calling my children names, I no longer felt like I was giving them the appropriate gift by supplying a venue, caterer, and decorations. I said that I felt like in my efforts to protect my home was limiting their options too much, standing in the way of their dream wedding, and as a result, I would no longer be hosting. The couple had differing reactions to the news, she continued. Brother seemed relieved, admitted to not quite wanting a destination wedding, and that things got a little out of hand during the planning phase, thanked me for my willingness to help, and offered to pay me back for the deposits I'm losing, which I appreciated, but I declined. My father stepped in, said it would indeed be better for her to leave, and told my brother that he was sorry, but this is unacceptable. What do the comments say? At that point, I wouldn't even go if she invited me, regardless of venue. Another Redditor said, cancel the wedding, block her. If anyone bothers you about it, send them those screenshots. Yeah, cancel the wedding and get back as many deposits as possible. You don't need a wedding to get married. They can go to a courthouse. The marriage is super important, right? And the last one is, there isn't a real relationship to salvage. The woman's brother is angry at her, then he needs to have some self-reflection about who he's marrying and why he's allowed her to treat his own sister this way. So I perfectly agree with that. I think that the future sister-in-law is definitely out of line. She is someone who is... I like the fact that she made it about their wedding and their venue, and about how she isn't, that even though she was, she put it back on them. Good style. So thank you for joining me for this. You have a great one, and I'll see you soon.